Morning. I thought I'd just do this initial bit from the office now that it's usable. Got my desk in. So what we're going to do today is move downstairs to the back to the basement. Anyway, the first thing we've got to do to clear this this side of the garage out is to get the motorbike out. So we need to find another place for the motorbike. So today's video, I'm going to build a ramp to get the bike in to the other side. Here we are. This is where the bike is going to go. Well, I say going to go, that's the entrance from outside, but there's a difference in height, which you'll see. Measure the height from the outside to the top and make sure that me on a bike will be able to get through there. Big bike. So that's how tall the entrance is for the bike. You can see that. So I could duck down. We've got 100mm either side. Let's just build it anyway, you know. Okay, now I've made the decision to make it anyway, even though it's borderline tight. First thing we need to do is have a look at the doors, because if we're having a ramp, these doors will foul the ramp. You see what I mean? Door is now above the step, just, which is fine. So all we've got to do now is figure out how we're going to build this stuff here. Now we have a slight problem. It's this area here, if you can see. Well, that's actually, oh my god. Any more looking here, but a hole. This hole is goes to the outside runoff rainwater drain at the front, and this is in by the last owner, I think, to try and stop anything coming back up, but it doesn't normally work. This pipe here is an outlet for that washing machine pipe. This whole area there was a shower. That was his only shower apparently. But it's also an outlet. I don't know if you can see in there. There's an outlet for the hot water cylinder as well, which comes down here. So I just blocked this off. We're in trouble. I sold British push fit. Today's word of the day. Temporary. Just give it a quick sweep up, clean up, and get ready to sort out the forming. How long do we want this? So I've got a spirit level here, it's 1200. That's quite a gentle slope, but it'd be easier if I did that one. Okay, so the next question is, how slopey do we want the slope? The next thing we need to do then is make a form or a triangle out of wood. I'm just using a block of wood and a pen just to scribe it to the old concrete floor underneath. It's so uneven, couldn't do it by measurement. Here I'm using a right angle to project the front edge of the ramp all the way across, just extending it so I know where to bring the other side to. So if I mark where I want the height near the step and then how long it's going to be, I can just cut a straight line because it's quite easy to do. Make sure that that's square, screw it in as before, and then I'm going to put a piece of wood across to put the cement in up to, and then all I have to do is mix the cement. This is just a cheap mixer that I got from the DIY shop. Once that's mixed, the first mix, by the way, has got gravel in, so 1 cement, 2 sand and 3 gravel. It's a dry mix, roughly, because it allows me to form the slope, and then the next 2 mixes after that are going to be just sand and cement with no gravel in. That means that when I put the second 2 coats on, I can smooth it off and get a good slope without any of the gravel appearing. Here you can see me putting down the gravel mix, make sure it goes into all the corners, but I want to keep it away from the front edge, and you'll see why later on in the video. Once it's spread out into all the corners like this, I then use a tamper, just a manual one, to compress it down, make sure there's no air gaps. I'll do that all the way across this mix. And then once I've compressed all this mix, the next 2 mixes, as I said, are just sand and cement mixed 3-2-1. Okay, here we go with the sand and cement mix. Pretty straightforward. Spread it all out and start building it up. I'll probably do this in 2 mixes. The first one, smooth out with a small trowel and use that to compress it down and push it right into the corners, so so you don't get any broken bits when you ride over it in your motorbike. No one wants to watch that for too long, so sped it up, but you get the idea. Compress it down as much as possible, and then once I put the second layer on, you can see I use a straight edge there to move along and give you a flat slope to work with, and then just give it a quick smooth off with a flat trowel. You don't have to be too good with this, as you'll see when it dries. Okay, here we are, the next morning. Looks good. Just got to take off a couple of ridges there. We'll take this frame off and see how it looks. Okay, I'm just going to use a trowel to scrape off the top layer of the cement and then brush it off and give a nice non-slip finish. For rolling the motorcycle in with wet tyres, it'll grip very well. So what's happened here is when I put it in, I put the first layer you saw had gravel in, and I put it too close to this edge. So when I just took the stones out there, it chipped the surface, but don't worry about that. We can fix that. Give you a nice finish on the front. I just mixed up a small amount of 3:1 sand and cement, and I'm just going to finish the front off, give it a nice rounded edge, just make it look nicer. Okay, here we are a few days later. It's dry enough now, nice rough coating. You can see the bit I did later, look, it needs to dry, but it gives a nice finish. It looks quite good. It's quite good actually, because although it looks it, which was the idea, that it was flat, it's not. It follows the steps here, look, and that step drops away down there. So it gives a bit of a easy time for the bike tyre to come over, but at the same time it's straight, wide enough and flat enough. So enough procrastinating, let's get on with it. But I know what you're all thinking, and for those people who have fast forwarded to get here, welcome. You want me to put the bike in now, don't you? Do you think that might be quite amusing? I think it might be quite amusing. But I've only got 2 cameras, so I'll put one outside and one inside, and then see what happens, eh? Yep, fits. I'll tell you what, that went way easier than I thought. So yeah, great, worked, very good. So anyway, this is the first video for the conversion of the room next door. We've got this out now. I'm going to tidy it, dig out the floor, and put a new concrete floor in, heated as well, for the new cars. Anyway, thanks for watching.